I have been playing WoW since its release. I have done my share of raiding back in the day, but as the years went by and real life happened, I gradually became more of a casual player. I leveled my alts, completed campaign stories, and did my world quests, and kept playing through each expansion. At some point though, I found myself doing the same things over and over again, and the game became something of a chore, without real meaning.
More work? No.
I needed something different, something to rekindle the fire. That's when, a couple of months ago, I stumbled upon Saki Boy's YouTube channel and his super fun videos. He undertook a mission amply named Craftlocked, where all gear equipped is made by one of his toons. That got me really inspired. In all these years of playing WoW, I have never tried hardcore. To be honest, I don't really play in hardcore or Iron Man difficulties in any of my games. The closest I can get is maybe Fallout 4 Survival Mode, which I think, oddly enough, is the best difficulty to play at. However, no matter what your level is, your hit points or equipment, even in full power armor upgraded to the max, if you're not careful, you will be ripped to shreds within seconds. And then you will respawn at the last place you slept, with probably several hours down the drain. I think that's what I am afraid the most, losing a character and along with it the many hours I have invested in. However, maybe, as in the case of Fallout 4, hardcore is the best difficulty to play, and I'm willing to find that out. Casual-turned-hardcore is my attempt to step outside my comfort zone and experience World of Warcraft with real consequences. And hopefully, I will get to have a journey you guys will like watching. What's more, playing from level 1 again will feel like a trip down memory lane. I had so much fun and was so happy when I played WoW for the first time. It was, and probably still is, the best game I have ever played. And now, I will revisit Azeroth as it was, with the added challenge of gearing up with items crafted only by my characters. Well, now that we got all that out of the way, let us see how a casual player like me will fare in World of Warcraft Hardcore. My name is Aristotelis, and this is Casual Turned Hardcore, Craftlocked Edition. So this is my iteration of the challenge. My goal is to level every Alliance class and race to level 60 and beat the Molten Core raid with everyone.
For the Alliance!
Yes, King Anduin, for the Alliance. Thank you. Furthermore, each character has a personal quest they need to complete. For instance, Aristotle, our human warlock and leader of our merry band, is on a quest to bind the fabled steed of Zoroth to himself, known to many as the Dread Steed. All that is fun and all, but here's the fine print. I am only allowed to equip items made by my character's professions. No quest rewards, no loot drops, but for a few exceptions. I have to utilize each character's profession and make an internal economy system to accommodate the needs of this challenge. And hopefully, my economy management skills are better than my drawing skills. This is Aristotle, the Warlock. My first ever character was a human Warlock, so it's only fitting I should start the Craftlocked challenge with one. And this is his character sheet. It is empty now, but hopefully it will fill up pretty soon. So, first things first, we have to remove our starter items, as these are not items crafted by any of our characters. And here we are, a naked man walking around Northshire Abbey. Then, we will pick up our first quest from Deputy Willem, who sends us to Marshal McBride. Marshal is our next stop, who informs us there is a kobold infestation that needs to be dealt with in the nearby area. We also pick up a quest to procure 8 pieces of tough wolf meat for this man. As a level 1 warlock, our means of damage is a direct damage spell called Shadow Bolt, and our fists. As a defense tool, We also have the Demon Skin spell that grants us armor, which we desperately need given we are naked, along with some health regeneration both in and out of combat. We focus on killing kobold vermin, till we score our 10th kill. On our way back to inform Marshal McBride we completed his task, we pick another quest from Deputy Whelan. A group of Defias gang members have been seen hanging around the vineyard to the southeast, and he needs proof of their demise in the form of their bandanas. McBride rewards us with some copper pieces for our service, but apparently the kobold infestation is still at large. He also gives us a letter of introduction from the local Warlock trainer. How typical! The Warlock trainer is located in Northshire Abbey's cemetery. She too has a task for us, to retrieve a tome of knowledge she acquires. As we have reached level 2, we also learn the spell Immolate from her. Immolate is a fire spell that deals both direct damage and damage over time. Damage over time spells, or dodge for short, are the Warlock's specialty. And so, with Flame and Shadow and Fists, we manage to collect all of the wolf meat Egan Peltskinner needs. We are rewarded with a choice of equipment we cannot use, so we pick the more expensive one to sell, and with the quest experience we get a level up. Now we turn to the kobold workers for Marshal McBride. While dealing with these creatures, we had a sad moment. A moment I am sure I will live through again many times, given the nature of the Craftlocked challenge. One of the kobold workers dropped a 6-slot pouch, which of course we cannot equip. Backspace is very important in WoW, especially in the early game, but we have to make do with the initial 20 slots of backspace till we will be able to craft our own bags. I took a moment to emote my feelings, and then carried on to finish this quest. Reaching level 4 while doing so. I cleared my inventory, reluctantly sold the pouch, and delivered the quest to McBride for a few more copper pieces. He sets us on the final part of the kobold infestation chain to kill some kobold laborers. After dealing with the threats near Northshire Abbey, I decided to go after the Defias and their bandanas. It was during my second battle with the Defias thug I noticed the Paladin was standing pretty close to me doing nothing. I said to myself, never mind, maybe he's AFK, and continued my work. I disposed the Defias and looked for another, but then I noticed the Paladin was following me. It was as if he had put me on follow mode. I moved a bit to check if he was indeed following me, and aggroed another Defias in doing so. Then a second one appeared, most likely disengaging from another player who was escaping. Thinking I should tag both mobs to avoid getting the Paladin killed, he suddenly sprang into action and engaged the loose Defias. I finished off my enemy, threw some punches at the other Defias, and was pretty sure the Pally was probably AFK and had just returned. I moved on to the next Defias, and there he was again. I had to say something. He did not reply, but helped finish off my target. Next, I made a mistake. I ended up pulling 3 Defias at once, which was not my intention. However, the Silent Paladin quickly entered combat, helping me out. I took down one Defias and turned to the second one, while the Paladin was fighting the third. But then, things got a little messy. 2 more Defias entered the fray, and my mana was running thin. However, with the Paladin lending a hand, we had the battle under control. He even dropped a heal on me for safety. Without letting us catch our breath, another thug came after the Paladin, but he was alone, and we made quick work of him. I had enough mana to immolate and Shadow Bolt to draw aggro from the Pally and letting him heal himself. That was quite a battle. I properly thanked the Paladin for his assistance, but yet again there was no reply. I proceeded to loot the tome for the Warlock trainer when another Defias spawned and was properly dealt with. I had to ask again. And yes, he speaks, or writes. Anyway, I had my answer, so I invited him to form a party. He accepted. We proceeded on farming Defias thags for the bandanas. The Questy add-on is really helpful by showing the amount of a quest item each player in the party needs. While we were killing mobs, he asked me why am I naked. I explained that it was part of the Craftlocked challenge I am undertaking. He thought it was cool, and I felt really good about it. We continued killing the Defias to get all of our quest items. It is really fun questing in a group. And much faster. We finally had all bandanas required. Time to deliver. I handed in the Warlock quest and was rewarded with a Summon Imp spell and a level up. I learned new spells, namely Corruption, which is another dot spell, and Curse of Weakness, which makes the target do less melee damage. We give William his bandanas and we pick up 2 new quests from the deputy, and that's when my silent paladin friend dropped it. I follow to you, naked man. It was funny and I loved it. It felt great to see that. I smiled at him and went, let's kill some kobolds. On our way to the Echo Ridge mine, we talked with Millie and accepted her quest to gather her harvest. While in the mine, we made short work of the kobold laborers, and we even found a chest, which I happily let Palbik take for all the help he has given me. Back to McBride to deliver the quest, pick a report for Goldshire, and we were off to the vineyards again. We gathered Millie's harvest and then went for Garrick's head. He stood no chance at all. With the gruesome deed done, we returned to Millie, who got her harvest back. She also gave us a grape manifest. I don't know what that is at all, but anyway, to present to Brother Niels, who is located at the top floor of Northshire Abbey. He was happy we did, and gave us a cloak for our trouble. Finally, we presented Garrick's head to the deputy, who offered the choice of items for us to pick. Sadly, we had to bid farewell, or das svidania, to our Russian friend, who had to go. I actually tried to write that word down, but I'm pretty sure it was very wrong. I had fun questing with this guy. In fact, I had so much fun, I totally forgot I had learned the Summon Imp spell. Summoning demons is a core mechanic of the Warlock class, who along with the Hunter are the only pet classes, at least in vanilla WoW. There are 4 demons in total that act as pets for the Warlock, with another 2 who need special circumstances. The first demon each Warlock gets is the Mischievous Imp. Mine is called Tartog. For now, he is able to help me in combat by casting Firebolt at my enemies. Before leaving Northshire Abbey, I farmed a little bit of experience to reach level 6. In classic World of Warcraft, every even level your character reaches, you're able to learn new spells and abilities or get higher ranks of already known ones. Thus, we upgrade our Shadow Bolt and learn a new spell, Life Tap, which is very helpful in situations where your mana is low and your health is full. Our next stop is Goldshire, a small settlement with an inn, a blacksmith shop, and the occasional peddlers found nearby. We deliver our report to Marshal Dugan and pick up a few new quests from the locals. We also learn the cooking skill from the Lion's Pride Inn cook, a skill we can use to convert fish and meat into consumables that recover our health and in later levels provide us with buffs primarily in stamina and spirit. We also pick up the first aid skill from the trainer at the first floor of the inn. Finally, the fisherman at Goldshire's Pier teaches us the fishing skill, and with that we have learned all of the secondary skills for classic World of Warcraft. The problem is, I could not find someone at the pier that would sell me a fishing pole. Oh well, I suppose leveling the fishing skill can wait till we visit Stormwind. While wandering the area around Goldshire, I once more made a careless pull. I cast Immolate at a bandit and ended up aggroing an ice mage 4 levels higher than me and another bandit. I need to be more careful and check if mobs are grouped or chained, because in hardcore there is no trial and error. Luckily, you can leave combat and be safe if you turn tail and run away far enough from the spot you initiated hostile actions. Next, I headed to the Fargodeep Mine area, where 3 of our current quests can be completed. But before entering the mine, I explored the surroundings, as there are more quests to be had. I picked up 2 quests at the Stonefield farm.
How are you? See you around. Well met. Be careful.
And a couple more at the McClure vineyards.
Hello.
Both locations are conveniently placed around the Fargodeep Mine. So, I farmed some boar meat to give to Auntie Stonefield.
You. Safe travels. See you
Level up
later.
in the process,
Have a good one.
and brought the pork belly pie to Billy McClure, who could not get enough of it. He let us know that the necklace Auntie wanted might be in the possession of a kobold named Goldtooth. So into the mine we go, but we have to be extra careful. You see, there is an expression for hardcore World of Warcraft that says, caves are graves. That's because you have little space to move around inside the cave, and if you are running away for your life, you might bump into more monsters on your way out, making the odds of surviving pretty low. In fact, we did experience such a thing. While killing kobolds for their candles and gold dust, we soon were overwhelmed by respawns. I had to get out, and quick. But I made a wrong turn, and things got a lot messier as I kept bumping into more kobolds. It's a good thing that these kobolds are not as fast, and you're able to outrun them without being hit while doing so. I need to change my mentality as a casual retail player and take it slower and safer if I am to survive. So we go at it again, this time being more cautious. While at the spot where Goldtooth spawns, we met a fellow paladin and asked him for assistance to bring down the kobold. He lent us a hand, and Goldtooth went down pretty fast. With that, we have almost completed all of the quests in the Fargodeep Mine. We were only missing a gold dust. And there we go. Time to deliver some quests. We made our way out and headed to the Stonefield farm to give Auntie's necklace back. While there, we gave the love letter to Tommy Joe Stonefield, who asked us to turn to Grandma Stonefield for help. We did so, and she sent us to Goldshire's alchemist, William Pestle. Back to Goldshire we go to deliver the rest of our quests.
See you later. See you around. Safe travel. Life be with you for the Alliance.
Marshal Dugan sends us on another mine investigation, and William Pestle agrees to help us with the young lover's issue, provided we bring him some crystal kelp from Murlocs. He also gives us a package of the cobalt waxes we gathered for him to bring to his brother over at Stormwind. The experience reward from the quests we deliver was enough for us to reach level 8. Our next target are the Murlocs of Crystal Lake and the kelp they may carry. We gather the kelp we need for Mr. Pestle, and then we head towards the eastern part of Elwynn Forest to find and report to Guard Thomas, who has more quests for us. We keep heading east till we reach East Vale Logging Camp, where the Tailoring trainer resides, and pick up that skill along with some new quests. Tailoring is very crucial for our growth. We will be able to craft cloth armor pieces which Warlock, Mage and Priest are able to wear. We will also be able to craft our very own bags to expand our inventory space. But in order for all that to happen, we needed to collect linen cloth to work with and of course level up our tailoring skill. So we hunted humanoid monsters that are eligible to drop cloth and targeted lower level mobs so that we could kill them fast. After some time hunting for cloth, we returned to Goldshire to give William Pestle the kelp he requested. He immediately started making an invisibility liquor and asked us to give it to Mabel McClure.
Hello.
Now is the time to learn our second profession. Each character can only have two primary professions. As Aristotle is our first, I thought it would be good for him to have one gathering and one crafting profession. We talked about tailoring a while ago. For gathering, I chose to go with Herbalism, as it does not require a gathering tool that takes up inventory space. Also, the plants we will be gathering can be used in alchemy. Furthermore, money is not easy to come by at the early levels, and selling the herbs we find can provide us with some bonus income. We ask a Goldshire guard for the whereabouts of the Herbalism trainer. He puts a mark on our map at the location where the trainer is. On my way there, I make yet another reckless pull. I misread the situation and try to dodge all three mobs instead of focusing them down one by one. This looks bad. My health is rapidly going down, so I turn tail and run. While running, a nearby wolf smells blood and comes after me as well. I make an effort not to aggro more mobs while escaping, and at last I get far away and leave combat. My dear Tartok did not make it though. I hope I do not learn the lesson of how to not make dangerous pulls the hard way. Moving on, I reach the Herbalism trainer's hut and pick up the skill from her.
Have a good one.
Well, as you might expect, I started picking up flowers scattered around Elwynn Forest. As opposed to the retail version of WoW, in Vanilla there is a chance for a gathering attempt to fail if your skill is not high enough, as you can see in this example, where I failed twice. We pick up a new quest from a smith in Goldshire, who wants us to speak to Elmore, a dwarven weaponsmith in Stormwind. I also made some bolts of linen cloth in the hopes of gaining some inventory space. You see, one inventory slot can hold up to 20 pieces of linen cloth. You need 2 pieces of linen cloth to make one bolt. What I did not know is that one inventory slot can hold up to 10 bolts, and not 20 like the pieces of linen, so you don't really gain anything by converting cloth to bolts. Oh well, at least I learned something. I continued hunting human mobs around Goldshire for their cloth. I even went back to the spot where the 3 Defias cat purses have given me lots of trouble not a while ago and deployed a different strategy. I ordered my imp to attack first, and in doing so draw aggro from all 3 mobs, and when combat started I focused down one of them. While my enemy's health was steadily being reduced by my dodge, I switched targets and cast Immolate and Corruption to draw the second Defier's attention. I threw a Shadow Bolt to the third, whose life was pretty low from Tartog's firebolts, and then I only had one Defias to deal with. Even though he resisted one of my spells, his fate was sealed. It felt like I took my revenge for before. I picked inside the chest these 3 were guarding, and my reward was a bunch of minor items. I changed locations and started killing kobold tunnelers near the Fargodeep Mine. I also brought Mabel McClure the invisibility liquor she needed.
See you around. See you later.
In the area near the Fargodeep Mine, you can also find some young forest bears wandering around, and they are one of the targets of the Protect the Frontier quest. I got a little bored hunting for cloth, so I decided to visit Stormwind. Entering Stormwind City sent a chill down my spine, with its majestic view of the statues of heroes of old and its epic orchestra music. Oh man, glorious! I took a moment to walk and enjoy the surroundings. I remember back in 2005, I was absolutely mesmerized when I first entered Stormwind. In the trade district, I found Morgan Pessel and gave him his brother's shipment in exchange for some silver pieces and a choice of items. I visited the bank and stored some of my items for later use, and then visited the tailoring trainer to see if there were any recipes for me to learn. I also spotted that the linen back recipe required at least 45 tailoring skill to be learned. We had heard some shady rumors that warlocks tend to gather at the Slaughtered Lamb Inn, so we went there to have a look. We found a warlock trainer and learned some new spells. Curse of Agony is another dodge spell that ramps up on damage the longer a creature is afflicted by it. There is a rule that says a warlock can only have one active curse at a target. That means we cannot have both Curse of Weakness and Curse of Agony afflicting the same enemy. Fear is another staple in the warlock's arsenal. It is a crowd control spell, or CC for short, because while an enemy is feared, he cannot take any actions but run away. We left Stormwind, but not before saluting General Marcus Jonathan, who stands vigilant at the entrance of the capital city of the humans. We wanted to test our new spell and found a level 9 Defias Bandit as our test target. Our goal was to apply all of our dodge spells on him and do no other damage apart from our Imp's Firebolt. We ran around a bit while the bandit's health was slowly deteriorating and we were safe away from his attacks. By the time he caught up to us, he was already dead. Not bad. We also had our first battle with an enemy spellcaster. An Ice Mage to be exact. Even though he was one level higher than us, he was dealt with accordingly. While killing Defiers for their cloth and bandanas, we got enough experience to reach level 10. Level 10 is a milestone for your character's growth, because that's when you get your first talent point. It is to my understanding that talents in vanilla World of Warcraft evolved from the skill tree in Diablo 2. Talents are a way to specialize and differentiate a character in a way that 2 level 60 characters of the same class may be completely different in how they play based on their talent choices. That is especially true for characters that are able to fill different roles in the tank, healer, DPS triangle, like the druid, the paladin, or the warrior for example. My first choice is putting a point in the improved corruption talent under the affliction tree, which reduces the casting time of the corruption spell with each point invested. At 5 ranks, it makes the spell instant, thus giving you more time to cast other spells during combat and letting you move while casting. And now, it's time to focus on our tailoring skill. So here's how crafting professions work in World of Warcraft. Recipes have a color indication which lets you know if crafting the corresponding item will give you a skill up or not. Orange recipes guarantee a skill. Yellow ones have a high chance of giving a skill. Green ones have low chance, and grey ones have no chance at all. I was a bit stingy with my linen cloth and wanted to make the most out of the bolt of linen cloth recipe before it becomes grey and offers no more skill ups. I leveled tailoring up to level 37 purely through crafting bolts of linen cloth. I then visited Stormwind and the tailor training there to learn some more recipes and began crafting some actual equipment like gloves and pants. Oops, for the robe I need some bleach too. Let me get one real quick.
What are you looking for?
The robe is done. It's time to put the items on. I accidentally also put on some cloth boots I had and quickly removed them when I realized. We also crafted the linen cloak to put on our back. We do not have the required light leather armor to craft our boots yet. We then proceeded to make items that will be used by our other cloth users
How are you?
and most importantly, learning the recipe for a linen bag. And then the time finally came. We had enough materials to make 4 linen bags, and that's exactly what we did. Oh my god, I was
Safe
so
travels.
happy. I was no longer a crazed warlock walking around naked. I cheered at my development and took a moment to observe Aristotle with clothes on. I equipped the linen bags and boom, my inventory space more than doubled. Our next stop is the basement
See you
of the
later.
Slaughtered Lamp Inn, where the Warlock's base or coven is located. We pick up a quest from Gacking the Darkbinder and learn new spells. At this level, we are introduced to another very important mechanic specific to the Warlock class. We have just learned the spell Drain Soul, which allows us to capture the enemy's soul and create a soul stone if she dies while we channel it. It is quite similar to the Soul Trap spell in the Elder Scrolls franchise for anyone familiar with those games. Now, Soul Stones are spell requirements for a few of the Warlock spells, like the Create Hellstone we just picked up. After that, we head to Stormwind's canals to find the fishing supplier and get ourselves a fishing pole along with a cooking recipe for brilliant small fish. We tried our luck fishing with our current skill, but the fish kept getting away. So we bought a shining bauble from the supplier to attach to our fishing pole, thus increasing our effective fishing skill by 25 points for 10 minutes. And went at it again. Well, the fish started to bite. After about 20 minutes of fishing, we hurried back to Goldshire Inn and cooked some of our fish, increasing our cooking skill. Enough with training our skills. We headed out again in Elwynn Forest, and specifically to the Jasperlode mine, to investigate it for Marshall to gun. It seems someone was there quite recently, as the mine was empty of monsters. We proceeded even deeper till we found a priest battling a spider, and we lent a helping hand. Apparently, she was there for ore gathering and did not care about the chest or the rare spider that was there. That's how we ended up fighting our first rare creature. You can tell a monster is rare by the great dragon figure around their portrait and their unusual name. Rare monsters typically carry better loot and are possibly more dangerous, featuring other abilities than normal monsters. We were not so lucky with the loot from Mother Fang, but inside the chest we found some light leather which we can use with our tailoring. We took our spoils and left the mine and headed towards the spot Guard Thomas speculated one of the lost guards was. We found his corpse and picked a medallion with his name, but we still needed to discover what happened to Rolf, the other guard. Tracks and signs indicate we should search a Murloc village further to the east for that. While making our way there, we disposed a couple of prowlers for the quest Protect the Frontier. We found another corpse at the outskirts of the Murloc village, and sure enough, we also found the medallion with Rolf's name. Before heading back to guard Thomas with our discovery, we picked up some bundle of wood for Supervisor Raylan and killed some more prowlers. To our surprise, one of them dropped an uncommon, or green, in WoW lingo, item. Perfect. Our first green. Of course, with the Craftlocked challenge, it's only a source for enchanting materials. We deliver the quest to a local of the Eastvale logging camp and get level 11. We get another talent point, which immediately goes to improved corruption. After going under a huge trunk, we pick another quest, to report to the Westfall garrison. We continue picking up lumber till we have 8 bundles of wood and deliver the quest for 3 silver pieces. On our way to guard Thomas, we encountered another prowler who carried a green item for us. I burst into dance. We report to Thomas that the frontier is protected and get our reward. We also give him the medallions of the 2 lost guards, and he asks us to inform Marshal Dugan about the Murloc threat. Next, we head to the Brackwell pumpkin patch, as we have some royal matters to attend to. Princess must die. We meet the same priest we found at the Jasperlode mine and ask her for help. She agrees, and although Princess's minions are the second most deadly mob in Elwynn Forest, we deal with the boars quite effectively. We get a level up for our priest. In the house nearby, there's the lady who has the choker for our Warlock quest, but she has 2 tough-looking buddies with her. We initiate combat by dropping all of our dodge on one guy and run away till the other 2 reset. We resummon Tartog and go at it again, now that there are only 2 enemies. We dot the melee guy down while running away from his attacks, and while the Lady Warlock is occupied attacking our Imp Demon, we go in for the kill. The choker is ours. Oh wait, we have bug space problems. We make some room and get the choker. We went for a little bit of exploring and ended up in this secluded cabin near the docks. There is a goblin inside called Defias Dockmaster and seems to be alone. Thinking he might have a higher chance to drop an item called Fairbro's Deed that starts a quest, I decided to attack him. Thank God I am raged. The instant we entered combat, 3 more enemies appeared out of nowhere. I panicked and started running. Even when the bodyguards reset, the Dockmaster kept coming at me. But he was alone and with half his health, so he posed no threat. Were we in retail, I would pay it no mind, but now my heart was pounding like crazy. This is hardcore, and I have to respect it. Back to the Fargodeep Mine for some cloth farming. We even found a chest with some light leather in it. We returned the brass collar to Ma Stonefield from the princess fight.
Safe travels.
And then we head back to Goldshire. We deliver our quest to Marshal Dugan and pick up some new ones and then head to Stormwind. With the light leather we found in the chests, we are now able to craft some simple linen boots. Yay! No more walking barefoot on cold cobblestones and thorny grasslands. We picked up some new recipes from the trainer while we were there, and then headed to the Slaughtered Lamp Inn and Kaking the Darkbinder.
Hey there. Have a good
We
one.
give him Surena's choker, and with that we reach level 12. He gives us the choker back
See you
and
later.
instructs us to use it at the summoning circle in the lower levels. We descend below to find what seems to be an entrance to some kind of catacombs. We keep going down until we reach a room with a summoning glyph or rune drawn to the ground.
Need help?
We use the Bloodstone choker, and lo and behold, we just summoned a Voidwalker from the Twisting Nether. He seems agitated, says something in demonic, and immediately turns hostile. Man, I just love Vanilla WoW and its quests. I was so excited, I accidentally pressed some command on the keyboard. We make quick work of the Voidwalker and head back to Gakin to deliver.
Greetings. For the Alliance.
He awards us with our very own Summon Voidwalker spell,
Be careful.
which we immediately cast, as we have some soul stones available. And there he is, Sardok, our trusted companion, our loyal friend, our meat shield. Oh, Sardok, you are going to take so many hits for me, you can't even imagine, baby. As I turned to leave, I noticed a gnome with the title Demon Trainer. I totally forgot that in vanilla World of Warcraft, you have to teach your demons their spells and upgrade them as you do with your own. So we bought what books were available for our level, which were all abilities for our imp. Apparently, we cannot teach a demon abilities if he is not our active demon. We also upgraded our Curse of Weakness and Shadow Bolt, and even learned a new spell,
See you around.
Health Funnel. Now, we can heal our active demon by sacrificing our own health.
Open
It's
for
time
business.
for some more crafting.
Have a good
The
one.
green linen bracers are made and equipped. With the items we have crafted, and with the aid of the Demon Skin spell, we have reached an armor rating of 249. Not much, but it sure is better than nothing. We summon our imp and teach him his new abilities. Firebolt reaches rank 2, and the new spell, Blood Pact, is a party-wide buff that increases stamina. We decide to take a rest, but not before cooking some boar meat back at Goldshire. We visit Guard Thomas again, as he has another quest for us.
Need help?
He needs us to collect
Go
8
on.
Murloc fins, as proof of dealing with a Murloc threat.
Always.
One of the Murlocs had a nice green sword for us.
Outstanding.
We gathered the
Go with
fins
honor, friend.
and reported back for a selection of weapons we could sell. Tired of all the walking around, I spent some more time to level up my fishing skill. It takes a lot of time to level up fishing, and it is kind of boring, truth be told. But in the later levels, you will be able to catch rare fish used in alchemical recipes, or better yet, sunken treasures. Meanwhile, it's also a calming activity for when you want to take a breather. I put a stop at my fishing endeavors when my skill reached level 74 and took the roads again. There were 2 quests left to do in Elwynn Forest. Gather the armbands of the Riverpog gnolls and take care of the notorious Hogger. While taking on the gnolls, we had our first encounter with an enemy that flees combat when its health percentage gets too low. This mechanic needs to be taken into account at every combat, and especially in tight spaces or overpopulated areas, because a loose monster may alert other monsters of our character's presence, and that's how many adventurers meet their untimely ends. While hunting for the boss, we spot Hogger, our first elite monster. Elite monsters, shown by the gold dragon around their portrait, are bigger, stronger, healthier, and more dangerous versions of their normal counterparts. I have a vivid memory of when I first encountered Hogger back in 2005 and had no knowledge about Eline's monsters whatsoever. He seemed like any other gnoll in the area and I remember thinking, why does he not go down before he sent me to the graveyard near Goldshire? Well, let's see how we'll fare now. I sent my Void Walker to attack as it has a taunt-like ability called Torment, so it's perfect for tanking. I cast Immolate Corruption on Hogger, and instead of Agony, I go with Curse of Weakness to weaken his attacks. It seems my Void could not land Torment, and Hogger came after me and even caught a few hits. But then he was tormented by my Void, and my pet drew his attention. I gained some distance and life tapped to regain some of my mana. I started shadow bolting and recast my dodge, always looking at my aggro table in Tiny Threat, a plugin of the Details add-on, careful not to exceed Sardog's aggro value. I used Health Funnel to heal my pet, as, although weakened, Hawker's attacks did a lot of damage. I reapplied dodge and continued healing Sardog through Health Funnel. Sardog's health was getting pretty low despite my healing. Heck, even my own health was going down fast, even though I was not being hit, but so did Hogger's health. One last Shadow Bolt critical finished the job. The menace of Elwynn Forest was downed, and I did it by myself. Well, with the help of Sardog, of course. Time to collect what armbands we needed to finish that quest too. In this fight, I had to use my Healthstone, which is a trusted last resort for these kind of situations. Back to Marshal Dugan for Hogger's Claw, which sadly I did not catch it on camera, as I was not recording at the time, silly me, and then to Deputy Rainer to give him the armband. And this concludes our first episode. Let's see what we achieved by looking at Aristotle's character sheet. Not bad. Thank you all for sticking around and watching this. If you enjoy what you saw, please consider to like and subscribe to my channel for more casual turned hardcore content.
Woo woo! Chug 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 woo woo!
My name is Aristotelis, and I will see you in the next episode of Casual Turn Hardcore Craftlocked Edition.